Hi all, I'm Mr. Mendoza. I hope that you enjoy this next reading of A Goat in the Rug. I wonder, what does it mean by a goat in the rug? Is there a goat in the rug? What are things made of? What are rugs made out of? We'll figure this one out as we read this narrative of The Goat in the Rug. Here you'll see some words in this lesson 23. Talk about them with someone. Yarn, strands, spinning, dye, weave, sharpening, duplicated, and delicious. You'll have to make some conclusions as you read the story. Read the details, think about the details that point to the conclusion. In The Golden Rug, the authors do not tell you everything you need to know. Ask questions about details in the words and pictures. Looking for text evidence will help you make a smart guess about what is happening. Making a smart guess is called drawing a conclusion. A chart like this can help you record details and conclusions. And as you read, stop to tell the most important ideas in your own words. Visual art. You'll see a lot of that in this book. You can think about times where you've made some art. As we read this narrative, nonfiction, it tells a true story about a topic. As you read, look for a setting that is real, events in time order, facts, and information. These two authors, Charles L. Blood and Martin Link, wrote The Goat in the Rug from the point of view of Geraldine, the goat. Charles L. Blood also wrote a book about Native American crafts and games. Martin Link was once a ranger with the National Park Service in Arizona. Meet the illustrator, Nancy Winslow Parker. When Nancy Winslow Parker was a kid, she looked forward to spring cleaning. That was when her mom put new shelf paper in the kitchen cabinets and dresser drawers. The lucky young artist was given all the old paper to draw on. Lucky for her, she had all kinds of drawing paper. The Goat in the Rug by Geraldine. As told, Charles L. Blood and Martin Link, illustrated by Nancy Winslow Parker. I guess at one time someone told them the story, and they decided, I am going to write this. So they did. How's the past still connected to the future? Or the present even? My name is Geraldine, and I live near a place called Window Rock with my Navajo friend, Glen May. It's called Window Rock because it has a big round hole in it that looks like a window open to the sky. Glen May is called Glen May most of the time because it's easier to say than her Indian name, Glee Naspa. In English, that means something like female warrior, but she's really a Navajo weaver. I guess that's why one day she decided to weave me into a rug. Who is she weaving into a rug? Geraldine. Geraldine is a goat. Geraldine, the goat. Glen May, the woman who made the rug maker, the Navajo rug maker. I remember it was a warm, sunny afternoon. Glen May had spent most of the morning sharpening a large pair of scissors. I had no idea what she was going to use them for, but it didn't take me long to find out. There's a lot of hair on that goat. I bet those shears are for it. Ah, legs up, relaxed. That must feel nice. Before I knew what was happening, I was on the ground and Glen May was clipping off my wool in great long strands. It's called mohair, really. It didn't hurt at all, but I admit I kicked up my heels some. I'm very ticklish for a goat. I might have looked a little naked and silly afterwards, but my, did I feel nice and cool. So I decided to stick around and see what would happen next. I guess it's going to talk about the rug making process. First step, cut the mohair. Or actually, first step, sharpen the shears. Second step, cut the mohair. Third step, obviously, wash the mohair. The first thing Glen May did was chop up roots from a yucca plant. The roots made a soapy, rich lather when she mixed them with water. She washed my wool in the suds until it was clean and white. That's step 3. Clean the mohair, wash the mohair in yucca plant roots, which is a soap. 4. I wonder what's next. After that, a little bit of me, you might say, was hung up in the sun to dry. When my wool was dry, Glenmay took out two large square combs with many teeth. By combing my wool between these carding combs, as they're called, she removed any bits of twigs or birds and straightened out the fibers. She told me it helped make a smoother yarn for spinning. So 4 is combing out her wool to take out all twigs and burrs and straighten out all the fibers. That's a fourth step. Fourth step already. Fifth step. Retell what Glenmay has done so far to make the rug. Think about it. We've done 4 steps already. Think about those 4 steps. Here comes the fifth step. Then Glenmay carefully started to spin my wool, one small bundle at a time, into yarn. It was beginning to find I was beginning to find out it takes a long while to make a Navajo rug. So, fifth step, spin the wool. Again and again, Glenmay twisted and pulled the wool. Then she spun it around a long, thin stick she called a spindle. As she twisted and pulled and spun, the finer, stronger, and smoother the yarn became. Fifth step, spin the wool. Sixth step, hey, looks like she's going to buy something or go somewhere. A few days later, Glenmay and I went for a walk. She said we were going to find some special plants she would use to make dye. I didn't know what dye meant, but it sounded like a picnic to me. I do love to eat plants. That's what got me into trouble. Oops, it's not good. Plants like goats. I wonder what happens to this one. So sixth step is make dye out of plants. When Glenmay was out looking for more plants, I ate every one she had already collected in her bucket. Delicious. Oh, that isn't good. Silly goat is eating all the plants up. Well, that's Glenmay's fault also. Or Geraldine's. Geraldine. Or Glenmay is a plant maker. That's Glenmay's fault for leaving the plants close to a goat. Sixth step. Or is it still the fifth step? The next day, Glenmay made me stay home while she walked miles to a store. She said the dye she could buy wasn't the same as the kind she makes from plants. But since I'd made such a pig of myself, it would have to do. It's still part of the sixth step, part of the fifth step, dyeing the wool, and still part of the fifth step. I was really worried that she would still be angry with me when she got back. She wasn't, though, and pretty soon she had 3 big potfuls of dye boiling over a fire. Then I saw that Glenmay had meant by dyeing. She dipped my white wool into one pot, and it turned pink. She dipped it again. It turned a darker pink. By the time she finished dipping it and out and hung it out up to dry, it was a beautiful deep red. Ooh, it's still part of the fifth step, dyeing the wool. After that, she dyed some of my wool brown and some of it black. So I couldn't help wondering if these plants I'd eaten would turn all of me the same colors: red, brown, and black. It's thinking, will it turn into different colors? That's silly goat. I guess goats really don't think. Sixth step. Oh, now it's part of the sixth step. While I was worried about that, Glenmay started to make our rug. She took a ball of yarn and wrapped it around and around 2 poles. I lost count when she reached 300 wraps. I guess I was too busy thinking about what it would be like to be the only red, white, black, and brown goat at Window Rock. It wasn't long before Glenmay had finished wrapping. Then she hung the poles with the yarn on a big wooden frame. It looked like a picture frame made of logs. She called it a loom. After a while, after a whole week of getting ready to weave, so now they're weaving the rug on a loom. That's the sixth step. Weave the rug on a loom. Glenmay started. She began weaving at the bottom of the loom. Then one strand of yarn at a time, our rug started growing toward the top. Still on the loom, a few strands of black, A few of brown, a few of red, in and out, back and forth, until in a few days the pattern of our rug was clear to see. Our rug grew very slowly, just as every Navajo weaver before her had done for hundreds and hundreds of years. Glen May formed a design that would never be duplicated. If it can't be duplicated, then what is it? If something can't be copied, it's very unique. It's special. It has a special pattern that no one can copy. Ooh, and there's a beautiful rug. Then at last the weaving was finished, but not until I'd checked it quite thoroughly in front and in back did I let Glen May take our rug off the loom. There was a lot of me in that rug. I wanted it to be perfect, and it was. Since then, my wool has grown almost long enough for Glen May and me to make another rug. I hope we do very soon, because you see, there aren't too many weavers like Glen May left among the Navajos. 6 steps to making that rug. And there's only one goat like me, Geraldine. Gerald, Geraldine the goat, Glen May, the Navajo rug maker. This is the true story of a weaver and her goat who lived in the Navajo nation of Window Rock, Arizona. You make some conclusions here and dig a little bit deeper. Thank you for watching this. There's a sequence of events. How many steps? 6 steps. Making a rug. Know how art is connected to the past. Every culture has something different about art. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed this meeting or this video, and look forward to more videos that I have. Thank you.